Goeiedag, good day, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world. And just another example of the deceit of the mainstream media and in particular, that terrorist organization called the Economic Freedom Fighters. Now, let's turn our minds back to Senegal. Okay, after Senegal 1, where a police vehicle came and nearly rode over a woman and their child, the Boers got angry and they turned this vehicle on its side. Somehow it caught alight and whatever happened, happened. But of course, just in the last week, in the Gauteng area, 20 trucks have been burnt by petrol bomb throwing thugs on the sides of these major roads. 20 trucks. Millions of rands in loss. But the only thing that the media are fixated on is this police vehicle turned on its side at Senegal. And of course, what happened then was, yep, you got it. Mr. Julius Malema, the terrorist-in-chief, leader of the Economic Freedom Fighters, said, we are going to go into Senegal to ensure that no further public property is damaged. That was their mantra. Let's remember that. And you'll understand what I'm talking about in a second. Last Friday, the Economic Freedom Fighters confronted the principal of the Brackenfell High School, demanding that she resign, and 2 of the teachers who attended a private party, matric party, resign as well. Now, the latest information I'm getting is that not only did whites attend that private party, but so did people of color. But of course, every matriculant at the school was invited, but there was a 500 Rand cost to cover each student's liquor, the DJ, you can imagine it wouldn't be for free. But because of that, none of the Africans attended. The way the EFF put a spin on it, they said that this was a racist party because the blacks were not invited, which is bullshit. But of course, don't expect to hear that through the mainstream media in South Africa. They've got their own spin on the thing. They're keeping the story that the whites are the racists, and they're pushing the Africans out of being or attending this matric dance. Now, why am I talking about Brackenfell and Senegal in one video? Well, I'll tell you why. Remember, the reason for the EFF to go into Senegal was so that they could protect public property. Remember that? What happened at Brackenfell just a few days ago? Well, I've showed videos here where you can actually see EFF supporters bashing cars that are in the Hyundai car dealership, setting fire to areas right around Brackenfell. And they did a lot more. And now the city of Cape Town has had enough. And this is what's happening. The city of Cape Town intends to take civil action to recover the cost of damages caused to municipality property during the Brackenfell High School protest on Friday. The city said they are still determining the total cost of the damages. Now, let me just mention at this stage that the fire engines that actually went out to actually respond to the fires lit by these EFF fighters, I call them terrorist thugs, were actually stoned. As they drove past, you had the EFF guys throwing stones and rocks at the vehicle. You can actually hear them in a video that I published just a couple of days ago. But let's continue with this. The city said in a statement, preliminary reports indicate a fire engine was torched, roads and traffic lights were damaged, and a field was set alight by EFF protesters. Car dealerships' windows were smashed at the corner of Paradise and Old Power Road, with private vehicles damaged due to stoning and several shops looted, according to reports. Stun grenades were used and several people were arrested after a man tried to address the EFF Secretary General, Marshal Dlamini, on stage. And I've also talked about that as well. And you can see what a lot of BS that is. Now, I just want to say to you that the economic freedom fighters are spoiling for a fight. That's what they're doing. And they're being pushed by Julius Malema. And the incredible hypocrisy is that these fighters, these economic freedom fighter fighters, can go down the street singing, "Kill the Boer, kill the Boer," and it's all okay with the South African Human Rights Commission. Because, you know why? Because they're black. And that's from the mouth of the Commissioner of the South African Human Rights Commission. It's okay because they're black. But if a white person dares use the K word, now what's worse, killing someone or using a racist term? You don't have to be a genius to understand what the difference is. The economic freedom fighters, the terrorist organization, are inciting a genocide against the white population in South Africa. That's what they're doing. And the South African Human Rights Commission are looking the other way because they are complicit in this whole thing. And of course, the EFF are just a wing of the African National Congress, who are this corrupt government gangster state. Anyway, let's continue with the story about what happened in Brackenfell. Before the protests, the city had filed an urgent interdict, which was denied in a bid to stop the protest. And remember, the school was also denied, keeping the protesters away from their school by a totally corrupted, inequitable judicial system. Cape Town Mayor Dan Plato accused the EFF of breaking the agreed upon conditions with South African Police Service and the court. He said, "The EFF made it clear that they have no regard for the rule of law, and the city manager has indicated to me that senior officials are assessing the cost of the damage to city infrastructure. Once a full assessment has been done, the city will be recovering these costs from the economic freedom fighters." Plato said, "I want to assure the public that we will not tolerate lawlessness in the city, and the economic freedom fighters will be held accountable for the damage caused." He added, "While private property has been damaged during today's protest action, I want to encourage property owners to alert the city so that our legal team can assess the feasibility of private property owners joining the city's case against the economic freedom fighters." Now, the mainstream media in South Africa have continued to completely distort what's going on regarding this and what went on in Senegal. And for some reason, the guilty party always tends to be the white minority community. It's quite extraordinary. It is quite extraordinary. You know, everybody knows my views of the mainstream media internationally. They're fake news. That they've got their own agenda. They push out what their publishers tell them to do, and the publishers are all the same people at the top. Yeah, the Illuminati, the New World Order, all these reporters that you hear on the screen on television, they are just puppets. They're not reporters. They're reading from a script that's been given to them by people who are just following the narrative given to them by the so-called publishers. And when it comes to the alternative media, like YouTube, like Facebook, like Twitter, etc., 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 they are making life impossible for people who want to report the truth, which is why the Loving Life channel is developing its own platform right now. And we have over 6,000 of my videos that go back years covering South Africa, which have been downloaded from YouTube. So YouTube, take the middle finger, because guess what? You can pull down my channels, but we have the videos, and we're going to be putting them up in the archive on our own platform very shortly. And for those of you listening who want to bookmark that while it's still under development, it's Loving Life TV, one word, Loving Life Television or TV.com. Please bookmark that. Make sure that you got it bookmarked. I will be keeping you informed on this channel and on the Loving Life Live channel about how that platform is proceeding. But we want to get it up very, very soon, because I've just had enough with these internet platforms and with the mainstream media. You cannot get a fair go there. All right, guys, please remember to subscribe to be kept informed. Ring the bell for the updates. Please like this video. Please share this video. And above all, please stay safe. Bye for now.